refugees is a different situation because it's more military, but that's what we should do. Okay, so if that's also my answer. So, if that's also my answer to it, why couldn't the solution then be, let's say AI really does take away all these jobs, instead of closing the military, but that's what we should do. Okay, so, if that's also my answer to it, why couldn't the solution then be, let's say AI really does take away all these jobs, instead of closing the border, we react to this by slowly decreasing the amount of workers, again, based upon how many jobs are available. Because if that was the answer, then it would be able to react like it does right now to the amount of, that's how we do work visas, to the amount of jobs that are open. Okay, but that's what we currently do.
No, we're not.
What do you mean? That's how work visas work.
No, we're taking on a ton of, we haven't decreased the amount of immigrants. Under Trump, I think he might have, but like, we haven't decreased the number of immigrants coming in.
Okay. So, do you know how work visas work?
Vaguely.
So you want to ban all immigration? Okay, got it. So work visas, or like temporary work visas, are these things we give people because we want them to work in the United States, but we don't necessarily want to make them a citizen, right? So this is something that we do. For example, back to the almighty question of the shrimp, okay? The shrimping industry. This is why it's actually industry is hurting right now because Trump severely restricted working visas. For example, specifically in the shrimping industry and a lot of other things. I really, look, I care about shrimp. I love shrimp.
If I can contribute a little bit here. As of 2017, immigrants accounted for more than 18% of U.S. healthcare workers. So I do think that immigrants are pretty vital to our workforce. Specifically in Florida, I believe it's 40% of
What was the role as far as the
home health aides and nursing assistants, things like that. So 40% of the healthcare workers
send me that stuff?
Can you send me that stuff? Of course.
Filipinos dominate the nursing industry.
Yeah.
They're extremely important. Definitely right now, when we have a huge shortage of nurses because, they don't like how exactly COVID's going and they're getting fucking...
We already have actually, if we want to talk about shortages of workers, healthcare industry is probably the best place to look at that because we have we already had a shortage in healthcare workers prior to the pandemic. With the pandemic, we've had early retirements as well as other things that have caused us to globally even have a shortage in healthcare workers.
All right, but again, okay, so the economy factor, it's important, but it's just one fraction of why I'm against the immigration. We're going to address the little Timmy factor.
Wait,
sorry, I most not as taking this not as religion, but I don't want to start as like a 2-on-1 situation now, okay? So
Yeah.
I just want to start us to be able to just say a few things.
I said what I wanted to say, basically. And I'll put some links in the chat.
Wait, can you send it to me privately because I'm going to lose it if I don't look at it now. Just send it to me.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so currently, what I've basically worked from this discussion, we've started with we should close the border and moved it to we should keep our current immigration system, except for maybe probably hiring religious people. That's what we've moved from the start of this conversation to where we are now. Except for, of course, nobody talks about immigration, right? Because that's what we do currently. We approve and don't approve work visas based upon economic need. The only difference is, of course, under Trump, when he was more into immigrant needs than approve work visas because he wanted the single work visa.
Can I ask you a question? Because you said that, what did you say about the illegal immigration part? That nobody would agree or something? So,
Yeah, like nobody, okay, the vast majority of people do not agree that illegal immigration is good, okay?
But what about the open border people? Isn't like Bosch like an open border person?
Okay, so let's also be real for a second and believe that these
I know the name.
Okay, so my thing is, when it comes to open immigration. Joe Biden talked about immigration. Bernie Sanders talked about immigration. Or AOC talked about immigration. None of them, even AOC, okay, none of them are advocating for open borders. None of them. Can you point to me to any mainstream politician that actually wants open borders?
I haven't really been paying attention to what they've been talking about in general, but it seems like that a lot of lefties are pushing for that kind of.
When you say a lot, but you mean a certain section of the online community, right?
I think it was kind of also, like I said, I used to be a
Only numbers on it.
Swear to God. But no, I like I said before, my little mental, I actually was for open borders, and it was almost a reaction to Trump, I think, in a way, because he was pushing for a lot of the close the wall, and I think a lot of lefties in general kind of going for whatever the opposite of what he was doing was, and I feel like I did that myself.
No, you can go on.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Okay, I don't want to speak.
No, the floor is yours.
Yeah, we're changing that. So, the thing is, I can even say on a conceptual level, on a personal level, open borders is not something I'm opposed to, right? Now, IRL, it's not something I'm advocating for, it's not something I'm pushing for, because I know that just like, in reality, it's just not something we're going to have happen, right? And so it's not even something I even entertain, really. Because I believe you have...
Caravans.
What was that?
What about all those caravans we were seeing?
How does that declare if the United States does or does not have open border? What?
Well, I mean, like,
What about...
what was the deal with that?
What do you mean, what is the deal? Like, okay, so a caravan, if you need me to explain what a caravan is when a group of people, for any number of reasons, they could be humanitarian reasons, they could be economic reasons, get together and as a collective...
I know what a caravan is, thank you. I'm asking, like...
You weren't clear, you said what's up with the... You said what's up with the caravans. It sounded like you were asking me what a caravan was.
No. Like, I'm talking about with the fact that they were coming here, what happened to those people, by the way?
What happened to them? Well, it depends on the specific caravan. Some of them were blocked. Some of them got to come into the United States. I personally believe that they usually, when it comes to caravans, how it should be done is they are given usually refuge in the United States, and they're given time when...
This house has cable TV.
Survivor's ready!
This house has stack TV.
Survivor's ready!
It's the same TV with the latest episodes from the hottest series. So, what's the difference?
Go!
Stack TV. You can stream the best channels for less.
This is the greatest day of my life.
From bites to frites, clicks to shrinks, Stack TV's got it all in one place. All for only $12.99 a month. Stack TV. Same TV, only better.
I missed all that. What'd you say?
I believe that if somebody, and I assume this has to do with, I assume you're asking humanitarian reasons. If somebody comes to the border and says, hey, I want to come in to work job, they're not going to just be able to just come in. So I assume you're talking about, I believe, they're a refugee. They should be given refuge within the United States, right? As they do in basically every other country in the world that has actually, like, not fucking asshole leadership, right? And they're given refuge in the United States, and they're able to stay within it until their case is pending. And when their case is done, right, they are either sent back or they can stay. If they, of course, are like, no, never mind, fuck you, I'm not going to leave, then we send out proper ways to collect them and send them back.
Why do you think they're coming here? I mean, like, what's going on in their countries? Is there anything, like, you think that we should do to their countries to move there?
Yeah, I think that economic partnerships with countries and possibly even security partnerships, depending on if the country wants it, to do with, like, gang violence and shit like that, is reasonable. In fact, benefits benefit both of us. If their people are able to buy our products and buy our goods and shit like that, then it helps American businesses, and would also help deal with the refugee issue. Would also be beneficial to us because then we wouldn't have to put as much money into like immigration services and border patrol and stuff like that.
Okay. I got like 5 more minutes, you guys, and then I gotta get going. But I don't know if there's anything else that you want to.
So it feels like we got the economic thing out of the way because Brittany seems to now be an advocate for the status quo. Immigration, good point.
You are advocating for openers, so.
Okay, great. So now the little Timmy immigration factor, since we're done with the economic factor, okay, so what is it about the little Timmy scenario, about this kid getting bullied in school, that is so important to you?
Well, I mean, okay. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory in a way. Like, a white person is going to be in that scenario where now we are the minority, and all the stuff that is being pumped into the minds of people, the race theory, this freaking shit that's been rising up, and our history of slavery and all this shit. Now the white person, every single minority group seems to have some kind of grievance against white people, and nobody's very sympathetic to the white person when it happens. Like, it's kind of a, oh well, they have it coming type of thing. And I see it a lot. In left-wing communities, and I used to have those thoughts as well. So I don't think they're going to get the same protections as minority groups now have, whereas we're trying to almost correct the wrongs of the past, and we're giving them a lot more protection, and it seems like certain minority groups can get away with a lot more than white people can at this point. Yeah.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is,
Okay.
my recommendation for the little Timmy scenario would be interacting with real people. And I mean this for the anime. For example, Mio should interact in the IRL world, probably leave his room. And I know he doesn't because there's an anime.
I'm not Mio though. I'm not Mio.
Wait, let me finish, okay? Mio should, because he has an anime profile picture, so I know he doesn't leave his room, okay? So that's the evidence for that. But the reason why is because I, as somebody who has lived in a county that is a majority black county, and it is even known in our state for being a majority black county, I was not discriminated against, okay, for being white. I was fine, okay? The teachers treated me with respect, and I was fine. There was some tensions during, like, the racial, during some riots and stuff for race issues, but for the people who knew me personally, it was fine. Being exposed to people in your community and getting to know them in one-on-one scenarios, that stuff was super, super important for me to not only grow as a person and learn about other cultures and people, but also was important for them to learn about me. And then we chilled and we hang out. One of my best friends who just got back from Afghanistan is a black Muslim man from Egypt who is super cool, super amazing, and we were great friends. And so my solution to the little Timmy scenario is simply that I think dialogue and conversations and community building would be the solution to that. Because in Prince George's County, I am literally little Timmy, okay? And the reason why I am here and I'm fine and comfortable is because I was interacting with my community and we able to learn about each other.
PG County is overwhelmingly non-white.
Oh god, I didn't know where that was coming from. Freaked me out. I thought it was like one of those donation things. Isn't this what you debate rooms call like anecdotal evidence?
Okay, you can call it anecdotal evidence, but I would also then say this. White people control the vast majority of wealth in this country. White people control the vast majority of political positions. White people control the vast majority of power, police, and these people whose laws are majority white across the United States. If you were to look at all centers of power in the United States, it is majority white. The problem of the idea of white people becoming a minority and then them being victimized in some way, I feel like this is something that's unprecedented in not only American history, but in any history that is country that is. Wait, let me finish.
That's just wrong.
So in American history, there was a time when white people were the minority.
No, there's other points in other countries where this happened.
Okay, where?
South Africa.
So in South Africa, once white people were the majority, then they became the minority. That's what I'm talking about now, because that is something that happened in South Africa. They weren't the majority.
It doesn't matter. There was a grievance against white people.
Okay, so the problem is that the culture in South Africa and the history of South Africa is vastly different than the history of the United States. South Africa was never majority white. Its leadership, okay, is still it was majority black when it was before colonization, and then it still was its population was still majority black during colonialist rule. The population of the United States has always been, when we're talking about the United States, not as in the native tribes, was always majority white, and it will probably continue to be majority white for another 10 or 20 years. And so you would need to explain to me, and then there would be such a cultural shift of people being able to see white people in their communities, be able to communicate with white people in their communities, be able to know white people in their communities, and one thing, be able to take this power back from them, including the wealth, the institutional power, the cops, all of that, fight, rebel against them, and they'll be like some like I need to see something like a super president here for what you're describing.
Why don't we put a pin in this and we can talk about the Little Timmy part another day. I have to go. I've been here for like an hour and a half. And I think there's a lot more to get into that. I don't have time to do that right now. So yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks for podcasting. And I will talk to you guys later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Brittany.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Little Timmy, yeah.
Appliances Boxing Day sale is here. Shop Boxing Day prices and year-end promotions only until December 31st.